Right then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about Amazon's The Lord of the Rings series. Now, this is over on The Hollywood Reporter. There's quite a lot of information in here that we're just going to go through and break down, and respectively, it's majority just to do with the money involved, which is insane. The money is absolutely unbelievable, and it's something which I can absolutely believe. Obviously, I say unbelievable, but turn of phrase. I can believe it, and I think that for Amazon to be investing this much money into this as a TV series production, I think bodes really, really well. Now, I know a lot of people have some concerns about this series, and rightfully so. Some of the things that they've come out and said were odd at best. They even lost some of the sort of Tolkien historians and things like that. So it's been interesting to watch this unfold. But I remain cautiously optimistic at the very least. So we're going to dive into this today. But first and foremost, I have to do a little bit of a plug. We do have memberships open on the channel. So if you like what I do here and you want to support me further, because obviously YouTube sucks donkey dong at the moment, please do check out the membership tab. There are some benefits to doing that, but there are also going to be some more benefits added soon. So check that out. Furthermore, we've got Patreon link down below in the description box if you don't want to go through YouTube. And oh, there's a third thing. I'm just plug city today. We're going to be talking. I'm also selling a Blu-ray. Okay, there's only 100 left, so they will literally go in the next 2 weeks, and then they'll never be sold again because we've got a batch of 500. So if you want to grab one, please do check it out. There's a link down below to my website where you can buy the Blu-ray to my film. Loads of extras and things like that. Like I said, there's only 100 left, so please do check it out before it's too late, because it will never be sold again, because making Blu-rays is a pain in the ass. So anyway, let's dive into this now. Right. So the highly anticipated fantasy series will cost far more than previous record-breaking estimates. We'd already heard that this was going to be one of the most expensive TV series ever, but now it's going to be costing $465 million for one season. What? That's monumental money. Absolutely monumental money. And it's fascinating to see that they think that this is worthwhile an investment. And I'm wondering whether they're planning for the long haul, or I cannot fathom what's going to cost that much money. $465 million for one season. Now, it might be that they obviously are looking to go the same route, of Peter Jackson to make the costuming and things like that very authentic, and you can then reuse it in the next season. That's understandable. I can sort of vibe with that. Outside of that, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be costing so much. It's insane, but it's good. It does bode really, really well. This isn't a doom and gloom video. I'm positive about this. Now, Amazon Studios' The Lord of the Rings television show is going to cost all the gold in the Lonely Mountain. Oh, The Hollywood Reporter, you're so punny. So The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed that Amazon will spend roughly $465 million for just the first season of the show. That's absolutely insane. So that's far above previous reported estimates that stated that the fantasy drama would cost an already record-breaking $500 million for multiple seasons of the show. That's what they were thinking. They thought it'd be $500 million just for a few seasons, but now they're like, well, it's just under $500 million for one season. Christ. So the New Zealand Minister of Economic Development and Tourism told the Morning Report, what I can tell you is Amazon is going to spend about $650 million, this is New Zealand dollars, in season 1 alone. And that's Stuart Nash. He followed up with, this is fantastic, it really is. This will be the largest television series ever made. I mean, this is, we like to compare things to Game of Thrones. This is sort of Game of Thrones plus then some more. And we always talk about HBO having absolutely all the money in the world. I mean, they do. HBO has a lot of money because they have a lot of subscribers. Yeah, it looks like Amazon's got a lot more. A lot more. Now, the figures were released as part of the New Zealand government's Official Information Act and initially reported by the New Zealand outlet Stuff. The documents also confirmed the studio's plan to film potentially 5 seasons in New Zealand. Now that's really good. Now they say as well as possible unannounced spin-off series, which let's not get ahead of ourselves with spin-off series, right? Let's make this one good. But the fact that they're saying, yeah, we've got the potential for 5 seasons, hopefully that means that they've got a plan for 5 seasons. And I don't hate a lot of what Amazon has been doing. Amazon's The Boys is relatively good. A lot of people hate certain elements of it. I still enjoyed it. Season 1 potentially better than season 2, but again, that's all kind of by the by. The Man in the High Castle was superb. That was on Amazon. That was an absolutely fantastic series. So yeah, hopefully they've got a plan for this. Hopefully they've got a plan, and hopefully they don't just come to a pretty abrupt end. And also Amazon now has The Expanse, don't they? And they're spending a lot of money on that. So again, that's really, really good. In terms of the quality that Amazon puts out, there is quality there. So it's not like they put out numerous duds after duds after duds. They have a very select Amazon original product line, and that bodes well because it's more quality than it is quantity, i.e. Netflix. If you're clicking on a Netflix video, 9 times out of 10 you know it's going to be trash. And then it's rare when you find something good. On Amazon, generally speaking, because there's not a lot to choose from that they've made themselves, it's normally pretty decent. So this does bode well for this series. Now, they do actually mention Game of Thrones here in the article, saying that actually that roughly cost 100 million per season. So this is nearly 5 times as much. Nearly 5 times as much per season. That's insane. With its per episode cost starting around 6 million for season 1 and eventually rising to around 15 million per season in season 8. Which how are you spending that level of money? How? Where's it going? Now, the eye-popping Lord of the Rings price tag almost certainly doesn't reflect season 1's production costs alone. The rights to the Tolkien property cost an estimated 250 million, plus there are considerable startup costs when bringing Middle-earth to life, such as sets, costumes and props. That will be used throughout the series. So that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was saying. That there's obviously a lot involved in that, and in terms of this overall cost, there's still more things to break down in there. And they say that here, Amazon's spending will trigger a tax rebate, so they're actually getting some money back. And they say this is somewhat controversial in New Zealand, as the government could end up on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars to help subsidise Amazon's Elves and Hobbits drama series, which is interesting, really. And it's not like Amazon needs the tax rebate, is it? Let's be honest, especially considering most governments are annoyed with what Amazon doesn't actually pay tax on. So, whatever, I guess. Now, the New Zealand outlet Stuff reported that the country's treasury has labelled the show a significant fiscal risk, given there is no capped upside to how much Amazon, and therefore the government, might spend. So, technically, New Zealand might put themselves up shit's creek here, which is fascinating to see. But others point out that the boost in local spending by the production, plus the potential tourism surge from Lord of the Rings fans, far outweighs the taxpayer-funded kickbacks. Well, I mean, you're not allowed to travel to New Zealand at the moment, so what tourism? That's a completely moronic statement to make, isn't it? New Zealand's completely closed its borders, and Jacinda Ardern has gone absolutely mental, basically, with the sort of fear-mongering involved. So I can't see them opening their borders anytime soon. In fact, I'm really surprised that they're even allowing Amazon to come into New Zealand's borders. But they haven't even mentioned that here, which I think is also something to note, because again, Jacinda Ardern and New Zealand in general have completely locked down because they're chasing a zero COVID policy, which is interesting. Now, Amazon picked up the rights to J.R.R. Tolkien's beloved Middle-earth franchise in 2017, and early on it was estimated that the show could end up eventually becoming the world's first TV show to cost around $1 billion after factoring in the rights deal, production and marketing for multiple seasons. That sounds pretty much bang on. Now, there is an official description at the moment. It says, The Lord of the Rings brings to screens for the very first time the heroic legends of the fabled Second Age of Middle-earth's history. This epic drama is set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and will take viewers back to an era in which great powers were forged, kingdoms rose to glory and fell to ruin, unlikely heroes were tested, hope hung by the finest of threads, and the greatest villain that ever flowed from Tolkien's pen threatened to cover all the world in darkness. Beginning in a time of relative peace, the series follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared re-emergence of evil to Middle-earth, from the darkest depths of the misty mountains to the majestic forests of the elf capital of Lindon. to the breathtaking island kingdom of Numenor to the furthest reaches of the map. These kingdoms and characters will carve out legacies that live on long after they're gone. It sounds great. I'm really looking forward to this. The production stuff's absolutely insane, though. And I'm still waiting to hear that New Zealand won't allow Amazon in, because I still think that's something which is going to happen. But there you go. Let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Take care.